And we have George Ho. And no, he's not a hoe. He's just, George Ho.
I'm actually a bona fide hoe. So
bona fide
hoe. Yeah. He asked me about my pronunciation. I said, it's a farming hoe, Santa Claus hoe, or Eddie Murphy hoe. Ho. But either way, guys, the bottom line is this, that today on Crypto Mondays, and you come to Crypto Mondays because you want to get knowledge, you want to get alpha. So hopefully, after we talk about Metaverse, you'll get some alpha and you'll get some crypto happy endings. Okay, that's what we're trying to do. So the topic, he's gonna kick me off. You probably got some earplugs for the little kid there. So the topic is very, very appropriate because back in Tennessee where I'm from, but I'm here now, okay? I have a nutrition manufacturing company. So we make really high-end nutritional products, all types of medicinal mushroom stuff with telomerase enhancing stuff. And all these things that you do for supplement, you know what it's doing? It's trying to optimize your immune system. It's trying to increase your longevity. Now, why are you trying to increase your longevity? Now, some people will say, I want to increase my longevity because I want to last long as I can. But if you're in blockchain, if you're in crypto, you actually want to increase your longevity until you hit singularity. Okay? Just dig into it. So when we hit the thing called singularity, that means when you're meshing into the computer. And if you're going to mesh into the computer, last week, Facebook hit it out of the park, right? And announced that it's going to put, I think, about $10 billion or something in the next couple of years, get 10,000 programmers in European Union. I'm not sure why he's not hiring American people. I don't understand that. But they want to go in heavy to the metaverse. They want to get into heavy in the metaverse, okay? So who in here knows, I guess, pretty much what the metaverse is? You can just raise your hand. So most haven't heard too much about it, right? Haven't heard too much about it. Okay. So what I want you to think about in the metaverse is pretty much like, beginning of Bitcoin, right? We just had a birthday for Bitcoin, right? So this metaverse is like a whole nother cycle. So in my opinion, in crypto, you had a couple cycles. You had the Bitcoin cycle, you have Ethereum cycle, obviously you have Solana and everything else, but this metaverse cycle has the potential of usurping it all. Yeah, you're going, how can it usurp it all? You think the people who got in early in Bitcoin who really understood it, I didn't understand it, okay? I just thought it's something you just transact money with. I had no idea what
you still bought some though, right?
Yeah, but I sold, okay? I sold, all right? So I didn't understand that concept, and most of the people now understand it more just because you've seen the massive escalation and appreciation in the price, all right? However, still, the people who are in Bitcoin and crypto is just a small amount of people around the world. All right? And then if you look at the next market that has had a huge upswing, and you've seen it in the arts, you've seen it on CryptoPunks and artworks and everything else like NFTs, non-fungible tokens, right? But if you look at OpenSea, even though they've done, I don't know how many billions of dollars they've done this year, just astronomical amounts of money, there's only a couple 100,000 wallets that's active. So a couple 100,000 wallets is barely anything. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah, I mean, it's barely anything, right? Now, if you look at the metaverse, what I want you to think about, it's going to replicate everything we have in real life. Now, I understand you're saying, George, it's not going to replicate the sun. It's not going to replicate the beach. You're not going to get all those stuff, all right? You may not get that in the next 5-10 years, but I'm telling you, they're gonna work as hard as they possibly can to replicate the hologram, the holodeck on Star Trek. All right. So if everything that's in reality, as in hotels, restaurants, discotheques, all these things are going to be replicated into the metaverse, it's almost as if you went into, if you had a chance to teleport yourself back in New York City when it only had maybe 100 to 200,000 people, what would you do? What would you do? I bet you would buy every single piece of property you possibly can. Does that make sense? Every single property you possibly can. Now, I'll probably jump too far. So the first time metaverse, the term was written down, Snow Crash. It was a dystopian novel, and people know metaverses from like Ready Player One or Matrix the movie, but hopefully we don't go down that road, okay? Because we're human beings and we all got hope. I mean, you come to Puerto Rico, you come to Crypto Mondays, you got hope. If you're depressed, Isaac's will tell you stay the hell home, okay? Because we don't need any negativity. We don't need any negativity, all right? So,
But call me, I'll help you out.
He does. He could help you out. And you've seen projects before on like the first iteration, kind of like Second Life. Who's in here has heard of Second Life before? Okay, and Sim Cities, right? I'm sure you heard of the game Sim City. So those are all kind of like progenitors of this thing that we call Metaverse. All right. Now, if you got some age on you, like Isaac, myself, you know, we're probably okay. I got more age than Isaac. But we're like belly-to-belly people. You know, you come to Crypto Mondays and you want to do interaction. You want to really meet people face-to-face. Does that make sense? To really get to know them, all right? But you got to understand that my son, he's 14. He loves Roblox. The amount of money I've given the Roblox, if I would have bought freaking Ethereum all these years, oh, my God. I mean, unbelievable, all right? But if you look at the 14-year-olds, you look at the 16-year-olds, you look at the 20-year-olds, you look at guys, maybe not girls, but you look at guys, you think about, why are they playing so many games? It's like 40 million people a month are playing Fortnite. Anybody in here is giving in your relatives some money for Fortnite? Okay, plenty, okay? Minecraft, right? Roblox. I mean, and then if you're older, obviously you're playing whatever, Call of Duty, I mean, League of Legends. I mean, you're playing a lot of these games. It's totally immersive. And you have like stadiums packed, like Staples Center, not for one day, for a whole week. And they televise it around the world. And these kids are making hundreds of thousands of dollars. Sometimes they're in the gaming type deal, they're making millions of dollars, all right? But all of those things that you hear about, Roblox, Minecraft, Call of Duty, all these games that you pay money for Christmas presents or birthday presents, they're all centralized. All the money went into Ubisoft or some other type of organization. So the beginning of what's going on with Metaverse and what Facebook has done, it could be a PR thing that they've done, because if you think about Facebook, it's a pejorative name now, right? Everything that you probably hear about Facebook is really, really negative. I mean, Exxon Valdez, destroyed Alaskan sea life for at least 10 years, and it didn't change their name. And Facebook, the top 5 company in the United States, changed the name. This should give you a reason. And you should know that Mark Zuckerberg, he's not a flippant guy. He's a very smart guy. So for him to change, it's got to be so much negativity tied to it. And he's going to the Metaverse, and he only calls it Meta. And the bottom line, I'm thinking, is it's probably metadata. That's what he really cares about, all right? But this push that he has with 10,000 programmers is to replicate real life into a social network. And you saw it before in MySpace, you saw it with Facebook, you saw it with Instagram, you saw it with TikTok and everything else like that. But I'm telling you, with the VR sets coming on, with augmented reality it's coming on, and these sets are just getting better and better. And you got to think about, if you're a young kid, kind of like my son, if you don't have a lot of friends, we're social human beings, so we want to get validation. Does that make sense? We want to have a connection. We want to have a tribe. And we're doing that right now with crypto, as in you may belong to the Bitcoin maximalist tribe or Ethereum tribe or Solana tribe. And when you huddle together, it's like, man, you know, we belong together. We belong together, all right? But if you think about the eyes of a 14-year-old kid or a 16-year-old kid or a 20-year-old kid that is having problems with school and having like issues with ego and self-confidence, what other location can they go into and be anonymous? Anonymous, okay? And eliminate rejection. Eliminate rejection. Isaac and I are old school sales guys. So we've gotten to a stage that we don't give a flipping crap We just go to the next number to ask for something. Does that make sense? But that was a struggle. It was a struggle to get there. So many people are going in the metaverse now is because, like, Sandbox is something you can look into. Snoop Dogg has got a huge mansion. He's got discotheques getting started. They're going to throw live parties. So instead of you, it's pre-COVID, of course, having to buy a ticket to go to an event and only 20,000 people can go there, you can go there 1 million people at a time and hang out with Snoop Dogg. Is that cool? That's what's going on. That's what's going on, all right? And then you got like Decentraland with 3 Loud, with Paris Hilton. I'm just saying that every single event, I don't care if you like, I'm from Tennessee, if you like country music, if you like techno, if you like any type of music, you know that music vibrates into your soul, that you get a connection point. And all of those things will happen within the metaverse. And that's why Facebook is trying to whitewash this deal. Does that make sense? Of all the sins that they committed, hey, I'm going to change it out. I'm going to go to the metaverse. I've already got billions of users now. How do I take it to the next level? How do I ensure my hegemony within the social network department? And he sees it as the metaverse, okay? But as Yatsu of Animoca brand, that's like the biggest NFT games out of Asia. He says that we're in a precarious time. We're in a precarious time because Facebook is committing $10 billion to this endeavor, right? So when Facebook gets traction, Google's going to throw $10 billion, all right? Tencent in China is going to throw at least $10 billion. Alibaba is going to throw money. So when Animoca is only worth $2 billion, right? Some of these blockchain companies are coming up now is that, hey, if you believe in blockchain and you believe in the metaverse is the next huge revolution, and another thing is you think, the people come in blockchain right now, that maybe they come into TikTok or they come into Facebook or they come in, not Facebook, but they come in like Twitter, and it's a friend telling a friend. Like his brother, Pedro, told Isaac, what the hell? It's time. Okay, get in. Okay, he get in. So he sees his brother now going to Dubai, going to Spain. And
I got in.
You got in, right? So what I'm saying is this, that takes somebody who knows somebody to get in, okay? Where the metaverse doesn't take anybody. Because if you're a kid that plays games, you're in. Like Ubisoft just put money in Animoca, right? There's some holdouts like Steam that says, hey, we're not going to do any blockchain gaming. We're not going to do any NFTs. We're not going to do that. But I'm going to tell you, they're going to do an about face just like China has so many times in blocking Bitcoin. That's freaking ridiculous. Okay, it's just stupidity because they don't understand it yet. So if you think there are definitely more video gamers there out there in the world than people who participate in basketball, football, and soccer. There just is. And those are the 3 biggest sports. I hate to say it, but more people play games. So if you can get him to come into the slippery slope of playing a game, immersive, and now showing everybody in the world how great you are in the game, okay, on that metaverse, but then you throw another huge aspect into it, right? Play to earn. Now you're earning money. So you get validation because you're able to play the games. You get validation because you got NFTs different from other people. And now you got validation because you're earning money and your parents have been yelling at you all day long. Do your homework. Yes, please do your homework. Don't say, hey, George told my kid not to do your homework. No. I'm Chinese. You got to really do your homework, all right? Otherwise, ancestors going to haunt you for life. That's the kind of stuff it's a lot of guilt in Chinese culture, all right? A lot of guilt. But if they can get validation at a young age and now they're making money, does that make sense? That's like full circle. Yes, we want them to go to school. We want them to get good jobs. But if they're making money and they can secure income without just doing And nothing wrong with TikTok culture. Please don't flame me, okay? On Instagram and, showing pictures of you in bathing suits and everything else like that. You don't need to. You can be anonymous, you can be on the games, and you can start building your own tribe without rejection. That's why I'm telling you the metaverse is gonna go.
So it's a community.
It's a community. It's a community that they could be bullied all day. Like my son was. He was bullied at a private school because he had a peanut allergy, and kids would go up to him and say, I'm gonna throw peanut butter on you in the bathroom and kill you. Does that make sense? These are the things that happens all the time. That's one of the reasons that he's in Roblox so much, and one of the reasons I'm trying with your help to, I'm saying to get him out of the shell, okay? So you think, one more time, this George Ho guy said, this metaverse is like going into New York City and there's only a couple 100,000 people in it. But you understand, when you go in New York City, there's no way New York City right now, maybe it has 20 million people, all right? It can't go from 20 to 100 million in a year. Not gonna happen. Sewer problems, garbage problems, there's so many scalability problems. But the metaverse, you can scale the hell out of this thing. You can scale out the hell out of this thing. That's why Facebook is coming in. Because it cannot lose. If Facebook loses its hegemony in the social network part with the metaverse, I think it's a done deal with Facebook. It's a done deal. We already know the young kids are not in Facebook anymore. They're in TikTok and other type deals. And Facebook could not get on K Street to ban TikTok. It tried. It tried, okay? Even though nobody can call me a hater. I'm from Taiwan originally. Okay, it's owned by a Chinese company. So all these things are happening. And then another thing is that everything that every skill set that you learn on like the outer world, maybe you did with real estate or you dealt with like, retail shops, all these business experiences that you learned before, you're going, George, I don't know how that parlays into regular blockchain. I don't know Solidity. I don't know Python. I don't know Web3. I don't know all the infrastructure stuff that they're doing. But what you do know is that there are going to be massive amounts of property out there that's going to be sold on Sandbox and Decentraland and all these other projects. And they're going to need real estate brokers. They're going to have rentals. Gala Games, the co-founder of Gala Games founded Zynga. Zynga was like Farmville and a whole bunch of other games initially with Facebook. He sees it. He sees it that this blockchain with Gala Games is going to create an ecosystem. And one of the things he's doing with a metaverse is Mirandus. So Mirandus is starting to sell a land. If you look at just one example, Sandbox, they already have pieces of land that's selling for $2 million. Now you're going, I haven't heard of those things. I'm telling you, this is kind of like the beginning of Bitcoin.
So how do we learn about it?
You got to Google it. You go to OpenSea. You ask some friends about it. And mostly just Google it and YouTube it. So you want to search, and I'm telling you, it's going to be full of pitfalls. Full of pitfalls because this is kind of like ICO 2.0. I know there's been a lot of IDOs and all these projects coming out for DeFi and wallets and L1 infrastructure. All those things continue. But the flood, the tsunami that you see, in my opinion, for games coming out, play to earn games and Metaverse is going to take it to another level. It's going to take it to another level because they're able to get a whole bunch of, games already out there and just switch the game and throw it on. So you got to make sure that the team is good, hopefully not Anon, and that they know how to execute. They know how to execute. And because you don't know who's going to take the number one position. And whatever like metaverse that you back, you really got to back it. Because the old school guys are coming in, Facebook, Google, Tencent, and they're already talking about we need to have like codified protocols, kind of like old school people like me remember Betamax and VHS. Betamax was actually a better protocol, but VHS had better push, and VHS took over. If you don't know what the hell, I'm much older than you. I'm much older than you, all right? What we don't want is all these big Facebook companies, Google companies that are able to throw $10 billion here and there. That's 5 times the market cap of Animoca, right? And they come in with some type of regulation or protocol where precludes these decentralized guys. So we got to do what we got to do to push whatever we can with the decentralized projects and tell people about it. You see, you can tell people about crypto and how you made money and how you farm and everything else like that, and that's great, and people can understand that. But for sure, if they do gaming and you tell them about the metaverse and how it's cool, you can meet new people, have friends, and have properties that can, I'm telling you, they have properties that can generate money for you. If you play Civilization and all these other games, these are the things that's going on right now within the metaverse. And if you haven't heard about it, that's when you got to do research, because when everybody hears about it, there's no more alpha in the damn thing. There's no more alpha in the damn thing, right? I could keep going. You got any questions?
Yeah, we're gonna yeah.
I'm kind of passionate about this, okay? Because, you know, it's something I can bond with my son. I'm trying to bond with my son.
You had me in it, so.
Yeah.
Hold on. We got Miss Danae there gonna hand out the microphone for you. Turn it on, please.
Yeah.
push and hold.
Hi, thanks for being passionate.
Speak into the mic, please.
Sorry, this is my question. So we can own tokens in the metaverse. We can own land. We can own NFTs that live there. How do we buy the land? Give us the knowledge.
So what I'm saying is this: a lot of the land, if it's already sold, it's already on OpenSea. Otherwise, like the projects, you need to look at, you know, Sandbox, Decentraland, Mirandus. It keeps going. So Rare. All of these projects coming out. Alluvium, Star Atlas. You got to get into Twitter and Discord, and start looking at announcements and when they're going to issue the land. And you got to be there early, because I'm telling you, the guys who understand the NFTs, just think about this. Bitcoin has 21 million, okay? Ethereum has, I don't know, billions. I know we got EIP 15, 59, and it's starting to decrease. Does that make sense? It's burning, all right? But it's nowhere near like the Sandbox with 70,000 parcels of land, and then there are other games only 10,000. So the smaller you have, if you can get a lot of players coming on, that's going to be worth a lot of money. It's going to be worth a lot of money. Other things to think about. I'm part of Theta Gang. Okay, so Decentraland did a partnership with Theta. So you got to look at CDNs, content distribution networks. Okay, so those are also important, because these games, when they go massive, Metaverse goes massive, they can't all afford to do like Amazon Cloud. So they want to do decentralized, so these other things will do well within the marketplace. I like Theta the most because Theta's got patents on protection on Metaverse and different type of VR and AR stuff. I know there are people in here that L0, and they just believe that we shouldn't have any rules, we shouldn't have any patents, we shouldn't have all that. Hey, I agree long term, true. Don't have patents and everything else, you just try to fight it out, all right? But to bridge Disney into the Metaverse, to bridge Sony into the Metaverse, to bridge all of these huge companies that have already got brands and have tons and tons of movies, they'd rather deal with a company that already has some patents that they feel good. Hey, I'm going to go through them for distribution in the Metaverse. I'm going to have the parties within them in the Metaverse because they understand regular business, and they're going to protect me until I can get strong enough position that nobody can fight me.
So let me understand this. Land is going to be minted like NFTs, and you have to be in the know to go to where to buy them, and you need to trade them for ETH. Is it a swap?
I'm thinking most going to be bought by ETH, yeah, but you know, obviously some obviously USDC and things of that nature. But the big projects, if you just go out, if you just search on Google for Metaverse games, you're going to see Alluvium, you're going to see Star Atlas, you're going to see Blocktopia, you're going to see these. And let me tell you how early we are. Let me tell you how early you are, okay? You know, in October, it's two things. You got the Metaverse, and you got meme tokens, right? You got the Metaverse and meme token, right?
Meme tokens doing
so
good.
Listen, you got Shiba Inu. You got Shiba Inu that's worth more than all of the Metaverse blockchain projects. That's how freaking early we are. You got one meme coin that's worth more. Does that make sense? That's how early we are. Okay?
Anybody else Anybody else walks in front of this camera, we're gonna hurt them. The camera guy's gonna go for their knees.
Good night. I have several questions. Because this of the metaverse, in my opinion, you have to have some factors in. First, how I see this, you're marketing more to developed nations, and you're betting on more people that have capital to invest this, because you need internet, then you need the systems to run it. Second, you also have to put the factor in that the economy, like, are people going to have enough money to invest in this? Because this is entertainment at the end of the day. It's not nation progress. It's not innovation to national level. It's more of entertainment, and in a way, it creates also a cycle of addiction if you see it. Because you're having people right now, okay, video games, all of that, but if you go to a place to look for validation, what else are you looking for?
What's your question?
My question is, with this, is how certain to a certain factor for the long term is this actually going to work?
I think it's already working. Let me just go and bring this fact out. So Axie is another metaverse game, right? Axie in the last couple of months have showed all these big Activision guys and everything else. Holy shit. Oh, there's a kid. Holy crapola. How is a small company from Asia that doesn't have a marketing budget, doesn't really know what the heck is doing, not doing Unreal Engine, not doing 3D really graphics, stupid Pokemon card game get to multi-billion-dollar valuations? How does this company lift tons of people in Philippines and third world countries and give them like a couple of $100 a month in income? How is this company set up like YGG and all these other guilds that issue scholarships for people to play the games, to rank them up, no different from World of Warcraft, okay, what Brock did before, and you know, he used Chinese miners to mine gold, and he sold the properties to US people. So there's always people in first world nations that want to pay money, right, for social NFTs that rank them up. And we've already seen this. We've seen this on social games within Facebook, that people are willing to spend astronomical amounts of money on rares, okay? On rares, not physical rares, all digital rares. So now we're getting the play to earn, and it is true, okay, that a lot of games out there are gamified and is a type of addiction. But understand that this is the fact of life we're dealing with. But even crypto itself is addicting.
Very.
That's why you're doing
portfolio,
you're doing CoinGecko, you're bum, 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 bum.
That's why you're here.
Almost, here's a fact of life, what the metaverse is. We're going digital. Everything is going digital. You think about like 200 years ago, they didn't have the freaking radio, okay? So maybe about 100 years ago, they got the radio, and that was the first move. And then they got TV, more people went there. And then they got the desktops, more people went immersive. Then they got the laptops, more people immersive. Now, our whole lives are in here, right? But the next level is going to be glasses, it's going to be Oculus, it's going to be Vive by the Taiwanese company, HT, whatever. Okay, so I understand where you're coming from, but I'm saying that this wave is already coming. Everything that, even if you look at government apps, game apps, all types of utility apps, they're all using game theory to try to really get you addicted to the application and using it effectively. So it is, to me, that how do you do it responsibly? That's one thing. But I don't believe, I can't allow myself to believe in a dystopian deal that's only going to be a first world deal. It's not going to allow third world countries to do well. Yes, you do need internet. You do need the internet, okay? There are a lot of people much smarter than we are, whether it be Google Ventures, Google X, Facebook, Elon Musk with the satellites. They're trying to do all these things to provide broadband for people all around the world. And if they can do that, and they can have an opportunity for them to do play to earn, and if YGG and other type of guilds do scholarships, they're going to issue more and more money out to people, and then I think it's going to be a virtuous cycle. For sure, I do believe this, that you don't need Fiverr as much. A long time ago, you needed Upwork and all this other stuff to do like geo arbitrage. But with this play to earn now, the geo arbitrage is so easy. It's much, much easier. So as long as we can go on that trajectory, I think it's going to the right direction. It's going to the right direction.
Awesome. Any more questions? One more question. We'll do two.
Yeah, so my question is, what are your thoughts on the sustainability of play to earn? And then just running into the issues with all the bot farms, for instance, that could be harvesting that yield, making it even tougher.
Yeah, those things, that's above my pay grade, unfortunately. That is above my pay grade. Okay, so I'm sure there's a lot of bots, there's a lot of farming. I actually had to change this tokenomics, and people run into these inflationary issues all the time. Yeah. So these are all the things that, for token mechanics, that got to keep changing. So in my opinion is this, that you got to have a funner game than Axie Infinity. You got to have a funner game. If you can have a funner game that people will absolutely go into, Call of Duty, League of Legends, and everything else, you can bring that type of action that people are getting, just as he said, that real dopamine fix, all right? Then hopefully that'll slow down the inflationary issues, and maybe they can take the tokenomics issues and learn from Axie and the other companies. But Axie's selling a lot of land now too.
Next
and
question.
of course, Axie's gonna come out with new games. They got the treasury to come out with new games with new tokenomics. Yeah.
Final question, guys, so we can get back to networking.
My question is, what makes these different metaverse companies unique from one another?
Nothing. Nothing right now. That's the problem. You got to really do your research and due diligence. Otherwise, you're going to throw money into what happened in 2017, where 99% of ICOs never get any traction and all your money disappears, right? So you got to vet the team. I mean, at the end of the day, nothing different from any other type of blockchain project, any other project that's raising money in Silicon Valley. You got to back the team.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's thank George, brothers.